good morning. I'm not Jean-Claude Juncker. That's a very privilege to, but I'm Deputy Head of Unit in the eGovernment and Trust Unit in GP Connect. So thank you very much for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to come and present a bit what our unit is doing and how we see what the role of eGovernment is, what should be the evolution in the coming years, and what are the obstacles that we need to really address and need to improve. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Parliament for having yesterday received a positive vote on the report that was produced by Sabine Verheyen. We saw the report. I think it's an excellent report, extremely knowledgeable report, and it goes very much into the right direction to push public administration to modernize and to rethink themselves. So what is eGovernment? In the eGovernment Action Plan that was published last year, we clearly spell that eGovernment, it is not about just taking ICT and digitizing administrations. It is not about digitizing existing process. On the contrary, ICT enables to go back to the drawing board of what government is, the way government are working, the way administrations are working, the way the citizens are involved in the administration and interact with the administrations. So ICT and the introduction, the take-up of ICT is an opportunity to rethink the way administration are working in order to deliver much better services to the citizens, to correspond to what the citizens are expecting, what the businesses are expecting in order to create a European Union where living in, working in, making business in, retiring in, it's much better. It's a pleasant place to be. So this is what the action plan is trying to explain, and explain that government should become what we call an open government. It's not just a motto to have a, let's say, interesting wording. It is about really changing administrations, because if you go towards what we call the open government, enabling the administration to work much betterly between them, breaking the silos between the administrations, making sure that you also break the silos between the administration and the citizens, the businesses, in order to enable the citizens to get better, then you get much agile administration, and we've been hearing that there is a need for administration to be much more agile in order to be adapted to the new situation, and we see how the world is changing very fast. It's also about getting the administration to become far more efficient, thinking of breaking the silos between administration, then you can have the once-only principle applied, meaning you can have from the burden on the citizens and the businesses collapsing because they don't have to provide information over and over. But you also start to create more trust in the administration because you increase the transparency, where citizens can see what's happening, not just to their file, but also how the decisions are taken. They can participate in the decision making in order to have decisions that correspond better to what their needs and their expectations are. So what are the obstacles in order to achieve that kind of vision? The first one, fundamentally, inside administration, there is a need to change the mindset. There is a need to think, we need to review those procedures, we need to review the way legislation are drafted, we need to rethink with this openness in mind, so that when administration are doing their activity, they enable others to benefit in a far more effectively from their activities. There is a need to improve dramatically the skills of civil servants, of lawyers, so that they understand that indeed with the ICT you can do things completely differently than the way you were doing it in the past. In particular, there is a need to move away, and this idea, because I'm French, to move away from the Napoleon model to far more agile administrations. And then the last argument we hear from time to time is the issue of the investment. It costs a lot of money. But I would say in most of the cases we see clearly that when the investment is done properly, the return on investment is extremely fast. Estonia, when they introduced the X-Road, they have estimated that they have shortened the queues of citizens by nearly a week per year. So there you see efficiency. When e-invoicing was introduced in several member states, they realized that the cost of handling an invoice collapsed from several tens of euros, 20 to 30 euros, down to 1 or 2 euros. So you see that the impact, the economical impact of such efficient transformation can be extremely high, so there is no need to continue to do that. There's a political will today we have to do. We are working with the member state, and we need to continue to work with the member states and bring all the regions, all the area of Europe to this high level of standards, high level of modernization. As it was said earlier, indeed, there are big discrepancy between the region, between the different activities. Portugal has some very good examples. Others, member states, other regions need to be pushed, and we need to get this transformation. So for us, e-government, even though for most citizens it appears a very annoying and an interesting topic, it's a very interesting topic, in order to have the public administration leading by example, so pulling the industry, pulling the innovation, but also leading by example by setting the standards, how private data can be handled in an efficient way, how they can trust and how they can get better services. Thank you.
Thank you, Jean-François.